This episode was fucking boring as shit. Rebecca has big tits. Toei is trying to say. They push it in our face every fucking day when we watch the anime. So why do we have to see these fucking big old things? Seriously, this episode of One Piece, like, oh my gosh. 2 things actually happened in this episode. 2! Count them. 2! Bartolomeo ran into Luffy at the end of the episode, so we got progression on that aspect. And we found out that the gladiators have been getting imprisoned after they were supposed to be healed, and they're inside of this big dungeon where nobody can get out. Even Isabella's punch, I don't think, can get them out of there. That's it. Nearly the entirety, roughly 85 to 90% of this episode was Rebecca fighting fodder and some fodder, irrelevant ass filler character coming in and helping her to fight another irrelevant filler character, and then just a bunch of filler fights everywhere. It was like, oh my gosh. I don't even know. Like, this was absolutely disturbing of an episode. I mean, if you want to do filler, just do filler. Let's take the cover pages, the Eneru cover pages that was done in the manga. Let's go through that. Let's do an original story. I don't even give a shit. Do a One Piece Unlimited World Red story, an entire filler arc. Fuck it, because that was actually a really good story. Do that. But anything but this episode. I mean, seriously. People come at Fairy Tail all the time for just it shoving fan service, but that's what this episode was doing with Rebecca. That's all it was about. Look at Rebecca's tits. Hey, when she's falling, we're going to push them, them into your face. And I mean, the reason why it upsets me the most is because One Piece has always been a step ahead regarding things of that nature. Like, Nami would have fan service, but it would be very subtle, or it would just be there, but not pushed into your face. Rebecca is just there. And that's, I mean, come on. When 2 things are happening in this episode, it makes you think to yourself, obviously, we know all the reasons why they're doing this. There's no secret that the One Piece manga takes a lot of breaks now because Oda's been sick, and the One Piece anime is very close to the manga right now, so they're doing episodes like this, and it's like, either take a break, the thing is here, they're never going to take a break or go seasonal because of the ratings. It's too good, no matter, I don't know why the Japanese audiences continue to support these episodes, and they're getting fucking 10 million viewership and shit on these episodes, or 8 million, 7 million, whatever the numbers is. And that's why they're never going to stop, because unless the Japanese audience puts their foot down and says, I'm not watching this fucking shit, what is this? We're never going to get somewhere as far as them considering going on hiatus or going seasonal or doing a fucking, I don't even care, do some original Naruto 80 episodes of filler straight just so we don't have to deal with this anymore. Because come on, Rebecca fighting fodder the entire episode, it was like fucking boring as shit, nothing happened. I love One Piece to death. I think you all know this by now. The manga is amazing. One of the greatest shonens of all time, period. But the anime, what they have done, I mean, Fishman Island didn't even do this, and people bitch about Fishman Island. I wasn't the biggest fan of Fishman Island, but Fishman Island anime didn't do this. Punk Hazard anime didn't even really do this. I mean, the manga itself had a lot of running around and shit, but the anime wasn't even this bad with this shit. I mean, come the fuck on. Yes, this is obviously a rant, because 2 things happened in this episode. One more time. 2. Nothing more needs to be said. If it continues this path, I have no choice but to just stop reviewing it, because I love One Piece too much to just continuously come in here every week and say, fuck this shit, this is ridiculous, fuck this shit, and I don't want to do that. That's not my stilo, that's not how I roll. If I'm not enjoying something to this degree, and it's not even just enjoyment, fuck it. If it's boring, but it's ultimately doing some really good progression, I can rock with that. I could still say an episode was good, even if I'm not entertained, but not only is it just bleh, nothing's happening. It's just stale as fuck. Giving this episode a 2 out of 10, and that's mainly because the art looked decent in a couple scenes, and we did get 2 acts of progression, so to speak, and little revelations here. But other than that, this episode was absolutely ridiculous, and it's like Toei animation. Please, Japanese audience, just give One Piece a break or something so they can figure out what they're gonna do. Because other than that, it's like there's no other option. They're not gonna stop this, and it's like, yeah, things ain't looking too good for the One Piece anime right now. It's just, my gosh. Let me know what you thought of the episode. Let me know what you thought of the episode. Fuck it, I'm gonna leave it just at that because I need not say more. That's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, or you have some sort of resolution to this other than them going on hiatus or them going into fillers, something, a good idea or something that maybe we can float around. Who knows? Maybe it'll fucking go up the chain of the ladder or whatever to fucking somebody can see. Float it around the comments. Let me know what you think. Is there any possible solution other than fucking with Toei's money to stopping this atrocity of in-canon filler and BS that is going on right now? That's all I have on Fineb World, and as always, people, have an awesome day. Episode was fucking boring as shit. Rebecca has big tits. Toei is trying to say. They push it in our face every fucking day when we watch the anime. So why do we have to see these fucking big old things? Seriously, this episode of One Piece, like, oh my gosh. 2 things actually happened in this episode. 2! Count them. 2! Bartolomeo ran into Luffy at the end of the episode, so we got progression on that aspect. And we found out that the gladiators have been getting imprisoned after they were supposed to be healed, and they're inside of this big dungeon where nobody can get out. Even Isabella's punch, I don't think, can get them out of there. That's it. Nearly the entirety